A young lady that worked for retail spent the evenings in the bathroom washing her hands, trying to remove permanent marker that a customer used to walk in and write vulgar messages on her hand. And nobody knew about it until another coworker noticed it and said something. The girl didn't say anything because she didn't speak English. My point today is raise awareness about speaking up for others. The ones that they don't realize what harassment is, or they don't understand what types of harassments they are in this world. Me as a manager, I have seen many types of harassment, and many of them, even though harassment is so obvious, you won't believe that 34% of people, they don't even grasp the concept about what harassment is. And 58% of people that they are being harassed, they don't even file a complaint. But what is harassment? Harassment is any unwanted behavior that is going to create a hostile environment for you. And there is many types of harassment. The more common ones are, or the unlawful ones are, the quid pro quo and the hostile work environment. And the other types of harassments are like visual, verbal, and physical. But when we are at work, there are many laws that it can help us to be safe. And one of them is Title VII of the Civil Rights Acts of 1964. There is the American Disability Act, and there is the Age or Discrimination of Employment Act of 1967. But probably the most powerful tool that is being provided for us so we can stand up and stop harassment is the bystander intervention, what is distract, delay support, delegate, and direct intervention, which is something that if we don't find excuses to help other people, it's going to be actually really easy to do it. But every time that we do it, we just have to ensure that we are safe to do it. Why? Because according to the Equal Opportunity Commission, workplaces that tolerate harassment, they have more of it. And workplaces that they do not tolerate harassment have less of it. Will you actually speak up for somebody else when they're being harassed? It depends on all of us. I mean, on each person. Why? Because sometimes we can say, well, maybe they are not going to understand what I'm talking about, or maybe that is not harassment, or nobody's going to do anything, I don't want to get involved. You can name all the excuses that people can find in order for not helping other people. And as an example is, like many years ago, I worked for a company that when they hired one of the male worker, he used to harass all the girls. And all the girls, they were saying, you know what, he creeps me up and he is harassing me and he's being like horrible, telling me all those things, but I never said anything. So when it was time for him to harass me, instead of going to the supervisor, I told my husband. My husband didn't tell the supervisor either, so he told his friend who worked for security. And then this friend that worked for security, he just went in the building, like, where is this person? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I wasn't there, but the next day, the supervisor called me to the office, and that's where the interrogation came. And I thought at one point that I had betrayed all my friends because I have said everything. But then at the same time, I felt like my husband betrayed me because he has spoke for me. But you know what? I felt sorry because they fired the guy. But you know, at the end, I was glad that everybody spoke up. Probably not me, but other people, they spoke up and they made the place a little bit safe. So all of us, we have to stand up and say something so we can keep this place or the world, the workplace, a little bit more safe. All of us, we have the opportunity to decide where we want to be during the day. And all of us, we want to be on a safe place. And all of us, we have been harassed at one point or another, one or many times. And all of us probably would have wished that somebody was there to help us feel safe in a place. So there is a quote by Martin Niemöller that he wrote just after the Holocaust, arguing against apathy and for the moral connection of all people. First I came for the socialists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jew, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a Jew. And then they came for me, and nobody else was around to speak for me. Thank you.